if I ask my two children for their memories of Harwell Primary School, one thing that's very high on the list is school dinners.
Oh, yes.
And specifically Mrs. Bing, who used to cook the school dinners. Would you like to say something about school dinners at Harwell?
The school dinners have undergone a huge change, I think. We took part, and I shall have to check the date for you, but we took part in a good food study for Banning University, I think
Good
it
food
was.
dudes.
Good food dudes, yes. And so every day children would be given a snack, and it might have been a carrot or a piece of fruit or a vegetable or fruit, and they were encouraged to have something healthy every day. That was also carried on in the kitchens, whereby the cook was encouraged to use certain ingredients for meals, and children were sort of educated really in what made a healthy meal. And each of our school cooks, and we've had 2 or 3 since Mrs. Bing's day, has sort of embraced this. I mean, the one at the moment, the meals are superb, really very good. And she also is very supportive of the school and will make cakes for the children to sell at fundraising events, and she'll do hot dogs and burgers and things for the Christmas bazaar, and yes, you know, so school meals I think have changed. I mean, my children remember school meals, and they, whenever we're having cabbage at home, they always say to me, "Oh, what time are we eating? You haven't got the cabbage on yet," you know, because school smelt of cabbage from about 9:30 on the morning that we were having it for dinner. But I do think school meals have definitely improved.
And that is the same at secondary level as well, because DGS originally had 3 kitchens, 1 for each main building, and then the school temporarily shrank. Mrs. Thatcher came in and cut everything, so we were down to 1 kitchen. And then there was this big drive for healthy food, and I think we're now a healthy eating school, though I'm not sure.
Yes.
We've got some kind
Yes,
of
we have
award
too.
or something.
Yes.
And the array of food on offer and the publicity for the eating 5 a day on posters and things all over the school is really markedly different from what we used to get.
That's good. We still have quite a high percentage of packed lunches, even so, but then I think perhaps they're too expensive for some
And
families.
could you possibly comment on the proportion of children who are obese now compared with the proportion 30 or 40 years ago?
I think it has gone down. We have very few. I can remember classes of children where, you know, you'd have 7 or 8 of them who were really overweight, but I can think of very few children now in any of the classes who I would be worried about.
Yes.
But I don't know.
I'm trying to think. There's always a couple in a class. I think what interests me is some of the reasons in the education system which have inadvertently contributed to this. The shutting down of school kitchens in the 1980s didn't help, and when the national curriculum came along, cookery became part of food technology, and in food technology lessons at secondary level, I don't know, at primary, you can end up designing a biscuit box rather than actually cooking some food, which is ludicrous.
But it has improved because they now cook at the boys' school.
Oh wow, yes.
In my son's day, they never did any cookery.
In a broader sense, the school interacts with the community of the village in other ways, I think.
Yes, and I think actually it's broader than that in a way, in that is seen to be part of our role, if you like, is to be involved with the community. And so as far as possible, that is exactly what we try to do. And with Peter Cancel as our head, we have gone from having a dedicated ICT suite of computers, which when it first opened was, we encouraged the people in the village to come in and do courses there. The scouts used it, the cubs would come and use it. Same with the swimming pool. We now have external classes run there with swimming teachers. We've got an AGP, artificial games pitch, which football clubs come in and use. We try and get involved with things happening in the community. So we'll go down to church for our harvest festival now rather than having it in the school hall. We try to go carol singing around the village. We invite people in to concerts and plays. We have, on a Friday, we have something called Full Circle, where retired people come in and work with the children on a craft type activity usually, and then stay for lunch, so that children get the opportunity to talk to older people who are not necessarily family, or who are not sort of too busy to sort of spend time with them. We try and involve them in village life as much as possible, and involve people external to the school to get them involved. We have our own gardens where we get volunteers from the village to come in and help children plant vegetables and grow as much as they can, which we then exhibit at the Harwell Produce Show.
And that is held at school.
And that's held at school now. Yes, so.
Yeah.